All right. Feeney Talks with Friends, episode 41. I'm here with Cy Hess. What's up, Cy?
How you doing?
This is great. I'm very excited to talk with Cy. But first, let's review episode 40. Eric and Yuri from West Hartford Lock. It was a great episode. We talked about cars. We talked about locks. This is Feeney Talks with Friends. My name is Eric Feeney, the founder and president of Friends of Feeney. Our mission is to help children and families that have heartbreak or tragedy. I use this podcast to talk with wonderful people in the community that are doing great things. And we have a community member here that does wonderful things. Cy, what's up?
How are you?
So in addition to being a financial planner or a financial advisor, are they the same thing?
It's kind of the same thing, but we focus just on 401k plans, 403b plans for organizations. So we don't have many individuals as clients. It's mostly companies and nonprofits.
Nice. And that's for Riverside?
Yes, Riverside Retirement.
Nice. At 1034 Farmington Avenue.
And we're local here in West Hartford.
Right down in West Hartford. Check him out. And he can be reached at cy@riversideadvisory.com, 860-961-2558.
Yes.
Don't call him. But he's here. Again, we talked, three things that make you a great financial planner, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
3 things.
Don't make it about the money. Be genuinely interested in helping people and follow through on what you say you're going to do.
Nice. That can apply to many jobs.
Yeah.
I like it. So say what you're going to do and do it. It's about the people. What was the third one?
Don't do it for the money.
Don't do it for the money. Got it. All right. Well, you're here today. You are the West Hartford Youth Baseball League president. West Hartford Youth Baseball League president.
Yes.
WHYBL.
Correct.
I like that acronym.
Yes.
So how long you been doing that?
3 months.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
You're new on the job.
New. I haven't proven myself yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who are you taking over for?
I took over for Rob Hannawalt, who had the job for what feels like 10 years because of the amount of work that he put into the position.
So is Rob a good friend?
He's become one. Yes. Yeah.
What makes Rob a good friend?
Rob is always there to help.
Nice.
And that's what good friends do. So he's there all the time. He's super responsive. And not only does he just give you the answer, he gives you the reason why the answer is the way that it is. So he gives you context,
Nice.
which is for somebody in my role who needs to understand why things have been done the way that they've been done. I need that.
So our motto is be a good friend. So thank you, Rob, for being a good friend.
Thanks, Rob.
Rob.
Cheers.
Here's to Rob. So is there a league vice president?
I don't think there's a formal vice president per se. We have an incredibly active board. And the board is made up of the vice presidents of all of our individual divisions, right? So depending on your age, you would fit into a different division in youth baseball. And then we have other folks, so past presidents who have stuck around. So not just Rob, but a few others, Rob Gallo, Glenn Barron. They've also been a part of the league and continue to show up to our meetings and help, kind of keep with that tribal knowledge of helping us, when we encounter problems and issues now, chances are they've solved those problems in the past. So they're there to answer those questions and they still help out. Glenn Barron, for example, if a rake breaks, at a local field, I sent an email to Glenn, and 2 hours later, I got an email back from Glenn. Hey, replace the rake over at Eisenhower. You got a new one now. So it's amazing.
Good job, Glenn. Yeah, it's been in the community of West Hartford for 70 years.
73.
73
Yes,
years.
from 1949.
And very local to Wolcott, right?
Yes.
Do you play all the games at Wolcott Park?
At a certain age, you do. So
Okay.
there's fields all over West Hartford, but Wolcott Park is kind of our flagship field. It has lights on it, which everybody loves.
Yep.
I grew up playing baseball. I didn't get to play under the lights until I was probably 16 or 17 years old.
Yeah.
So to be able to do it when you're 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it's pretty special.
And the kids even get announced their name and sometimes walk-up music.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Walk-up music. That was never a thing until
Right.
15, 20 years ago. And
So when I hear the
now
walk-up music or an introduction, I'm like, oh, let me take my dog for a walk and go check out. Because odds are I have a student or a former student out here playing.
Yep.
And I'll know a couple parents that I can talk. And Barkley usually behaves.
Yep.
But a wonderful spot, Wolcott Park, fantastic. And the league is well run.
Yes.
Your announcer is great.
Yep.
I know a lot of the coaches.
Yep.
So, yeah. Great.
That's what makes it good. We've got a ton of people who are willing to volunteer their time, and it's not a little bit of time. It's a big commitment, but everybody who's involved is willing to make that commitment, and they go above and beyond. So I wouldn't have taken over as the president of this league if there wasn't the people behind the scenes, the volunteers, the board members who put more hours than I do into this effort. So.
And there's 4 divisions: training, instructional,
Minors.
minor, major.
Yes. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. And we've got something for everybody. So there's a decent amount of flexibility. Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean that you're automatically going to fall into a certain division. If you are super skilled and you should be playing up, we accommodate that. But if it's your first or second year playing baseball, then we'll keep you down and make sure we pair you with the right talent.
Oh, it's not strictly on age, it's
No.
ability as well?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and we do other things too. So at the younger divisions, you can enter in buddy requests to make sure that you're on the same team as your friend. We try to pair kids up by schools too, to make sure that kids from the same schools, even though they're not buddies, they may have class together. Or
Some
they may
friendly
see
faces.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. Yeah, there are some leagues that say strictly no buddy requests right
Yeah.
on the form to fill in,
Right.
and you are very welcoming to that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, baseball is kind of a slow burn, right? It's a game that isn't as fast paced as a lot of other sports that kids play. It's not flag football. It's not basketball. It's not lacrosse. It's not hockey. And so with all that downtime that you have with a sport like that, you want to be able to talk to your buddies that you're familiar with and that you see. You also want to make new friends too. So it's not like if we've got a core group of 7 kids who all they do is hang out and go on vacation together with their families, they're not all going to be on the same team, right?
Yeah.
So that's an extreme. But we do want to make sure that we're kind of spreading it out so kids have, a sense of familiarity when they show up to the park.
No, that's great. And then in teacher world, when you level on ability,
Mm-hmm.
it's called differentiation. So you differentiate based on just because a kid could be like 12, but first time playing, you may play him with the younger kids like
Right.
11 or 10,
Right.
and that's okay.
Yeah. Right.
That's awesome.
And because that kid may not have the confidence or the skill set to hang with other 12-year-olds. And what you don't want to do is completely scare them away from the game because they're outmatched, right? And we had to do a lot of that with COVID because you had a lot of families with completely different responses to COVID. Some parents were like, get my kid on a field for as soon as I can because I want him to just be out of the house. And other parents, rightfully so, were very nervous about the spread of COVID, even through playing baseball. And so they kept their kids on the sidelines and waited a year or year and a half to put them on the field. And completely understand and sympathetic towards that. And so we really, last year, had to make sure that we were assigning teams and being accommodative of kids who, age-wise, maybe should have been playing up or at a certain level, but because they had skipped a year or a year and a half or 2 from baseball, needed to put them at a different level.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then the logo colors, why the orange and black?
Cal Ripken?
Cal Ripken, because it's a Ripken League. Found
Yes.
that out.
Yep.
Which is a subdivision of the Babe Ruth League.
Yes.
Right. Babe Ruth is the older kids.
Correct.
And Cal Ripken's. So yeah, saw that today. I'm like, I always wondered why it's always it's Baltimore Oriole colors.
Correct. Yep.
Cal Ripken. He played. He was pretty good.
He was pretty good.
Decent.
I heard of him.
You got his baseball card?
Somewhere, yes. I've got a box of baseball cards up in the attic that my son and my daughter have sifted through and traded and put in binders and everything else. So it's cool to see them play with that.
Cool. Well, we have an exclusive emergency press conference announcement. This is very exciting to share that Friends of Feeney will have a team in the West Hartford Youth Baseball League.
Correct.
I was saying we wanted to be the Friends of Feeney Fighting Phils or the Friends of Feeney Flying Falcons.
Yep.
Can we have that?
I think,
We
yeah.
need alliteration.
There's no upcharge on all the font that needs to go
Just
on
a lot of
the
Fs.
jerseys either. Yeah, just a lot of Fs.
And then this is all possible to some adult friends. I'd like to thank Mike Davidson, great guy. He's in the league. He's an awesome person. Brooks Fisher, he's also a friend and a coach. Dan Goldfarb, great guy. I taught his son. James Sinclair.
Yep.
And Jeff Vanags.
Yep.
I taught Leo.
Yep.
Chuck Minahan.
Yep.
I taught his oldest, Connor.
Yep.
So those 6 people all contributed and helped sponsor the Friends of Feeney team. We're very excited to have, again, the Friends of Feeney Flying Falcons, Fighting Phils. But
Has that been established yet?
no.
Okay.
No.
Got
Just throwing it out there.
Because we can build it into the website whenever need be.
Deal.
Yep.
Deal. But again, I can't thank you enough. Generosity to help get awareness, to help spread the Be a Good Friend message, or to help children and families that have heartbreak or tragedy. Again, Mike, Brooks, Dan, Chuck, I always want to call him Leo, Jeff, Max, that's James' dad. So I know all their little guys.
Yep.
I know all the adults. Brooks is a fantastic basketball player too.
Is he?
You ever play basketball with Brooks?
No. That's not my sport.
Okay.
Nope. Pretty athletic guy, horrible at basketball.
That guy can shoot.
Can he?
And Dan Goldfarb, if you need fantasy football advice. James Sinclair, if you need dog. Do you have
Yes,
dog?
I do.
He's a veterinarian.
Yes, yep.
A fantastic veterinarian. Jeff, baseball coach.
You and
obviously.
Jeff have similar beards. So
Right?
you guys could have a beard off, right? Who's
I
got
saw that. He's got a little more salt.
He does. You're the pepper to his salt.
Yes. I saw that recently. I'm like, Jeff, wow. Look like a wizard. Chuck lives one street over from me.
Okay.
Great friend.
Yep.
He's on the board of directors
Okay.
of Friends of Feeney.
Okay.
And he's been great asset, great supporter, volunteer, and very excited to announce Mike Davidson is on the board now.
Good.
So,
Yeah. Mike has been a key person in helping me understand the role, helping me understand all the things that a president should do. He's just been wonderful. He's always available to take my calls, and he's awesome. I love that guy.
Yeah, and Mike, also huge shout out. He suggested the Friends of Feeney can drives, which have been a huge hit and success here on out because of Mike suggested it.
Yep.
We worked out a location. Our first one was like in January last year. It was like 10 degrees outside of Gastro Park. We filled a U-Haul, and then we did one for like every 2 months. And now we have a nice connection with West Hartford Redemption Center right over here on Oakwood.
Yep.
Go see Chet anytime you want to see Chet and say, hey, these are for Friends of Feeney, and Chet puts them right onto our account. So even though we're not having a can drive, you could see Chet at the West Hartford Redemption.
Okay.
Mike is now good friends with Chet, so
Yep.
they hit it off. We had, and then we recently had one at Lions Auto. Did you come down Wolcott on Lions Auto?
No, I didn't.
Before Corner Pug?
Nope.
Because we have a huge mural,
Oh, really?
Be a Good Friend mural.
Okay.
It was painted by Ash Arts,
Okay.
which come to find out, huge. This is very exciting too. A lot of exciting news today.
I like
Sai,
it.
you're in for
I like it. This is
Episode
good. Time is
41 is a good one.
perfect.
It's a Pokemon stop or a Pokemon
Oh, yeah.
gift or a Pokestop. My school librarian, Mrs. Lynch,
Yep.
fantastic person.
Yep.
Loves Pokemon.
Yep.
She sends me a screenshot. Do you know what this is? It's like Be a Good Friend mural, West Hartford, Connecticut. And it's like got a gift and a prize on it. I'm like, I have no clue. She's like, you could share this on Pokemon Go. Which
That's
I
a
was
big
like,
deal. Yeah.
huge,
So
right?
you're a destination.
I'm a destination.
I'm 41 years old, and I am figuring stuff like this out every single day.
Right.
There's so much stuff out there that I have no clue existed. When I learn about it, I'm amazed. And maybe I've just had my head down too much, not paying
You
attention
gotta
to stuff.
get your Pokemon game up.
I do.
So if it snows, fingers crossed, I will be downloading Pokemon Go.
Yep.
Walking my dog and Pokemon stopping.
That's got
at
to be the
all
first
places.
one. Well, you have to make the Friends of Feeney mural the first one.
First stop.
Yeah.
First stop.
Yep.
So
Tell me, and if it's okay to flip this around, because
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
learning about Friends of Feeney for
Yeah.
the first time, just over the past few weeks. I completely understand and love what you guys are doing and why you're doing it, and you're doing all these great fundraisers and everything else. What are you doing with the money that you're raising? How are you helping kids who have tragedies that they've faced?
yeah, no, that's great. First time, 41 episodes someone's asked. So
All right.
that's another prize for you. Now I forgot the question.
What's Friends of Feeney all about?
Yes, so it's a nonprofit. We help children and families that have heartbreak or tragedy. Said that earlier in the beginning. I'm sorry to repeat it. And I started it 9 years ago. I got hired in West Hartford. I taught fifth grade, and I had Gabby Sohn.
Yep.
Was a
Yep.
student of
I
mine.
watched the podcast with her.
Okay, great. Gabby Sohn. And unfortunately, unexpectedly, her father passed away. So we had to do something. We did a GoFundMe. But come to find out, GoFundMe taxes the recipient,
Right.
and takes a percentage of every donation. So then the following year, another student lost their dad. Nancy Sohm, the mom, was a teacher assistant after losing her husband, became working in school in my classroom, so we kind of hit it off and became friends. She knew the person, Rashad's dad passed away. Rashad and her son Braden played football together.
Okay.
So it was like full circle connection. So then she could empathize with the mom, and she was there to support the mom who just lost her husband, because Nancy knows that feeling, because the year prior she lost, someone very special to her husband. So it was like a triangle thing. So we did another fundraiser, and again, just helped them get money.
Right.
And now Nancy is the secretary of Friends of Feeney.
Yep.
So she's on the board of directors. She's a fantastic person. She's, she can talk to families that are experiencing that. She's been through it, been through some tough times.
Right.
So
that's great. And as somebody who does live in the world of investments and financial planning and those type of things, you do see that from time to time where everything's going great, everybody's financially secure, and then a tragedy happens and it goes to zero real quick, right? And taxes are a pain, and it's unfortunate that. And there's really no way around the fact that the GoFundMes of the world and the government's going to tax those fundraisers that you raise for them, as good of intention as you may have. It kind of goes against the spirit of all of it. But to be able to set up a nonprofit and to be able to direct those funds in such a way that the families can get them and not have to worry about 20, 30, 40% hit, for that income that they're getting is huge. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. And then a couple years later, my friend, my daughter's classmate, Donovan, lost his dad. And we helped Jessica Marquez out, and just, constantly a family in KP had a house fire.
Yep.
A family in the Elmwood community, they didn't go, no relation to the school, but we're really close in the community. My dog walking route, house burned down, and there was a death, and it was heartbreaking.
Yep.
My friend Eric Bergen reached out, and we wanted to do a fundraiser, and he called me on Saturday. By Monday, we had $15,000 for the family. It was amazing. And the community of West Hartford comes together and just very supportive. Not many communities come together like that.
That's wonderful.
It was wonderful.
And so we, born and raised in Connecticut, never left the state, and have lived here in West Hartford for, so it's 2022, right? I think I moved into West Hartford 2004, so about 18 years I've lived in this town, and have watched West Hartford go from a place, the center that shut down, used to shut down at 9:30, 10 o'clock. We used to have to beg the bartenders to stay open at Max Oyster past 9:30, 10, to this place that is, the police need to shut it down at 2 a.m. But knowing so many people in town, and it doesn't feel as big as it actually is. And part of that is because you see people rallying around all these causes and helping each other out. It's nice. And I grew up in a small town in southeastern Connecticut, and I loved growing up there, and still have really strong ties there and a lot of love for that place. And West Hartford kind of fills that void as kind of the new hometown that we have.
Nice. No, I love it. I'm born and raised in Waterbury, and then my wife's from East Granby, and we met at Southern Connecticut.
Yep.
And we lived there after. She was teaching in Milford, I was teaching in Waterbury, and we found out we're having twins. We were like, we're going to move to West Hartford. Both being educators, we heard great things about the school system. We moved right over by Woket Park, saw the park. It was just great. And then 13 years later, so happy that I'm here.
Right. And where does she teach?
She now is...
Or does she still teach?
No, she was a special ed teacher at the Foundation School in Milford.
Okay.
And now she is the senior director at Oak Hill.
Okay.
Oak Hill School of the Blind.
Yep.
Which has 4 departments under it. Chapter 126, New England Assistive Technology, Adaptive and Assistive Equipment. They refurbish equipment and give it out. And then our veterans program.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's
great.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Nice. And just the twins, right?
Just the twins.
Okay.
Yep.
I've got a buddy of mine who had two girls, twins, probably a few years older than yours, but he's like, all right, 2. Once they come out, they're healthy. We're done. That's enough for us.
Pretty much what happened. I know everything's been great, but 8th grade has been rough. New year. It's a new.
That's a
lot of
tough age.
changes.
That's a tough age. My mom is a retired 8th grade English teacher, and she was an 8th grade English teacher forever. It wasn't like she's had a stint in 8th grade and then went to high school or 4th grade or whatever. She stuck around in 8th grade forever. And
How long?
well, she started when she was 22. I think she retired when she was 55. So she put in her 30 years, right, and got her teacher's pension and everything. But that age, with all the hormones and trying to figure yourself out and, what am I going to be like when I grow up? Like, that's just a tough age because education comes second to you just figuring out all these emotions that are running through your body.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed with the headphones are in more often. The what?
Yep.
Or, I didn't hear you. I'm like, but if I'm talking to your mom in the kitchen, you're like, what'd you say? You're like, it doesn't involve you right now, but
No.
you hear it.
They've got that second sense.
And I'm like, we're going to take the small car today.
Yeah.
Then they're like, Dad, what car are we taking? I'm like, I just said we're taking the small car.
It's that selective hearing.
I love it.
Yeah. Yep.
And so my wife is the head coach for the town basketball.
Okay.
And my daughter Bridget plays basketball
Nice.
for the town, and we're very excited with the town. Always wondered why we don't have a middle school teams. Did you notice that too when you first got here?
So yes, but growing up, we had a middle school team until I got to middle school, and then budget cuts came through, and then they cut the middle school teams. Probably
where
why
you
I'm
grew
so
up?
bad at basketball. But yeah, that happened in 7th, 8th grade. Right when I got to 7th grade, they had cut the basketball team.
And then you said your mom's a teacher.
Yep.
So I've always asked, as a teacher for 18 years, 9 in my hometown, 9 here. Do you have a favorite teacher?
Yeah, I'd have to say it was my mom.
Nice.
Right. I had some great teachers before that. Miss Severino was one of my favorites. But then, so she was, I think Miss Severino I had when I was in 6th grade, but my mom was my 8th grade English teacher. And she was, definitely my favorite teacher.
And did you call her Mrs.?
I
Hess?
think I probably broke down a few times and called her mom, but I think the rest of the class was okay with that.
Because I get called Mom. Just the other day. Mom? I'm like, yeah.
By your daughters or by kids in
students.
class? Okay.
Students.
My son will call Mr. Brow's dad from time to time,
Yeah.
and he'll tell me that he accidentally slips. So,
Dad.
yeah.
I was just in Mr. Browse's class today, and on the wall, they were working on their word walls, and it was like foe, confidant, rival, and, all these words, and they're like, use the word in a sentence. Mr. Feeney, you know what this word means? And I'm like, all right, rival. I used to play basketball at this guy's house in the morning, and I invite Mr. Browse, and this is a place where I kind of dominated and scored 10 points a game. And then Mr. Browse comes along and shuts me down.
Yep.
And I invite him as a friend, a confidant.
Yep.
Used all the vocabulary words.
Right.
And that day, he was my rival.
Yep.
And he's like 6'5". He's always like, Feeney, how's it feel to be under 6 foot? I'm 6'3", but he's got jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was the tallest guy in the school.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Browse comes over, kicks me, and then he kicks me out of my classroom.
Yep.
So I had to move classrooms because they were moving like the 3rd graders, and he was a 4th grader. So the joke was he took tallest,
Yep.
took my classroom, and probably most athletic. Even though we had a 1,000-point scorer female in the school, Christy
Okay.
Morey, who's a principal now.
Okay.
She was the most athletic. But then this guy shows up, Mr. UConn football.
So now he went from just being a rival that day to your foe.
Now he's just
your
a foe.
lifetime foe.
Now he's a foe.
Right. Tying
So
it all back.
Yep.
With the words of the day.
Yep.
Nice.
We play, he definitely is a good basketball player. He's just a great guy. He's, my daughter had him for 5th grade, Mila.
Yep.
She still talks about stuff that, pineapple doesn't go on pizza. That's a Browse.
I would argue, hopefully people have tried it. If you
Right.
tried it, it's like the salty and the sweet. You got to have the ham to balance it out. But
Right.
I know it's like the internet has now decided that pineapple should not go on pizza. But before the internet judged everybody for that, I was a big fan and still am
Yeah.
of a fan of pineapple on pizza with ham.
Okay.
It's got to have ham.
Gotta
It's
have
got
the
Hawaiian,
wine.
not just straight up pineapple.
Yeah,
That'd
true.
be gross.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And then cornhole. He loves
Yep.
cornhole.
Yep.
So for the end of the school year, we go to Sock Stars. Huge connection with Sock Stars. Shout out to Sock Stars. We've done 2 toy drives there.
Okay.
But we got Mr. Browse occasionally he'll still wear them and be like, Beanie, you got me these. So he loves cornhole.
Nice.
He runs a great tournament. Maybe you get the invite.
Yeah, I should. I've got
How's your
cornhole
cornhole
boards.
game? Oh, all right.
It's good.
All right.
But it's okay. I don't want to say good because that really sets me up for people like this kid said he's pretty good at cornhole. I'm okay. But I haven't played in probably a year.
All right.
And West Hartford Youth Baseball has some cornhole tournaments too.
Okay.
So as a way for, we're always trying to get new coaches into the league, right? Because people are sometimes on the fence worried about like, well, I didn't play a lot of baseball. It doesn't matter. You just kind of show up and you figure it out. And you're teach too. We have, a lot of coaches who will take new coaches under their wings, mentor them, show them how to run a good practice, those type of things. But to get everybody together, we'll do cornhole tournaments.
Where do you host it?
We have an indoor facility.
Oh, wow.
So we've got this awesome indoor facility that 5+ years ago, a lot of the people on the board pulled together, put brand new beautiful turf down. They dropped down some cages, so we've got batting cages in there. We've got pitching mounds, so we can run full-on practices in that indoor facility, and we do it in the winter. And we're not forcing kids or asking kids to come in, 4 or 5 days a week, but once a week you want to come in and take batting practice, do it. You want to come.
Is it in Bloomfield?
It's in Bloomfield. Yep.
You recently just had something big this past Sunday, right? Or Saturday?
So we had an open house.
Okay.
That last Sunday. And it's just a drive interest. If you want to come by, check it out. If you're not familiar with the league, we also had our friends from WHYBL, the West Hartford Amateur Baseball Association. That's where you graduate to after you're done playing baseball after the age of 12, right? So they'll do Legion, and basically if you're 13 and older, that's where you go. So they were there, they had a table, and they were there for families and players to learn about life after youth baseball.
Yeah, they're a red logo. I follow them on Twitter now too.
Yeah.
WHYBL.
Yeah, exactly.
What's it stand for?
West Hartford Amateur Baseball Association.
Nice.
Yep.
And then the Legion.
Yep.
I'm a member of the Legion.
Okay. I was a Legion baseball player.
Nice.
Back in the day. Yep.
I was just a member because I served in the Army National Guard. So Legion number 96 is right above. They still meet in Flora.
Yes.
Across from West Whole Foods.
Yep. I've been there before.
But it used to be like a Legion place. It used to, like
there's some story behind that because they used to have that building or something, and I may mess this up, so please don't quote me on this, but one of the stipulations was if they're going to develop that property, Legion still needed to have a presence there, and so the developers made it happen, which was great. It's a nice facility.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
And so, do you think the indoor helps? Obviously, the more you play,
the
better you get.
Yeah, it helps for a couple of reasons. One is it's just nice to have something to do in the winter. And it's not necessarily about, well, come in the winter and come get better at baseball and improve your skills. It's more like you're locked in the house, it's dark, 12, 13 hours a day. Come indoors and have something to do for an hour, hour and a half. And even for the younger kids, to have them come in and have that release valve, it's wonderful. When we're in the spring season, right, which is the big part of our program, if it rains one day and you can't get practicing outside, we'll go hit in the cage for an hour. And we keep it nice.
Do you guys have a key? The coaches have a key?
Yes.
Or is it welcome?
Yeah, there's a punch code.
Oh, gotcha.
So you go in, and that way we know who went in, right? But we've got a guy who keeps the calendar and makes sure that we don't have a lot of overlap and anything else. So it's great. And then we do have other teams that if you want to be more competitive and do travel baseball, they're in there a little more. And as you get older and you want to get a little better at baseball and spend more time playing baseball, our older kids who are 10, 11, 12, they're in that facility a fair amount. So a little something for everybody, which is great. And
is that where you host the cornhole tournament?
Yes, the cornhole tournament is in there.
Can I get in there and get some
breaks? Yeah, absolutely. I would say about 75 to 100 pitches I can throw batting practice before I start to completely fall apart.
Do you have the gun where you speed?
No, I don't want that because then it drops to 25 pitches because I'm trying to,
My arm already hurts just thinking about it.
Somebody's got a gun somewhere, I'm sure, but that would be pretty fun.
Oh, I'd love to time it up. So yeah, I'm very excited. I printed out some sponsors. I mean, they may be old or not, but I'm just going to shout out some that I know. Patrick Cooney.
Yes.
Know him?
Yep.
He's from Waterbury.
He is. He's a Waterbury guy. Yep. And if you go into the indoor facility, what we've done is there's a lot of our sponsors have purchased banners, and we hung those banners up in our indoor facility. So Pat Cooney's is one of them, but he's got a nice big picture of himself, nice headshot.
Cute bald head.
Of Pat. Yep, exactly.
He's got a nice bald head. Danny Cooney, he's a Waterbury firefighter.
Okay.
And
Got
Patrick is
and
older than me, but
we'll have to play the Waterbury name game because I got a lot of friends from Waterbury, and I'm curious to see if you know them.
I mention every time Waterbury. And then speaking of Waterbury, but Beachland, Beachland Tavern, and Rockledge, Melissa Waterbury is the manager.
Oh, really?
Go figure.
Oh, there you
Imagine
go.
That. So if I was going to get the Waterbury shout out from Patrick, I'm getting it from Melissa Waterbury.
And Beachland's really cool because they've got the facility at Rockledge. Right, and they're kind enough to let us host our monthly meetings there too, which anybody can come to. But it's nice because we've got a lot to talk about, so those meetings can last like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Nice.
Even though I don't want them to, but we've got so much to do. So it's nice to be able to sit there and order a beer, wings, dinner if you haven't had dinner yet. So they're really cool about letting us use the space.
And another thanks to Beachland and Melissa, we did a Elmwood Makerspace event. Makerspace when you build with cardboard and duct tape. We did it down at the Senior Center, the Elmwood Community Center.
Okay.
We've done it for 3 years in a row. And Beachland donated a big tray of chicken fingers and a big tray of French fries.
Got it.
So that's Elmwood.
I saw that. You're wearing the shirt right now.
Wendy, episode 4. Wendy is a great person. She's definitely a good friend. She helps with the parades. She helps with we collaborate on the Elmwood Makerspace event.
Okay.
So thank you, Beachland. Thank you, Wendy. Cricket Press.
Yep. They're instrumental. They're a huge help.
I got Yeti mugs from them, mailing labels and magnets. So thank you, Dom. Great, always Cricket Press.
Yep.
Yeah, this golf law group. I want to connect with her. Can you make the connection?
Yes, I will, or somebody else will. Yep, I actually coached one of her kid, Brooke's kid, years ago. So
she has great bulletin boards.
Yep.
I heard she's a great sponsor.
She does have great.
Mike Davidson challenged me to be a sponsor like golf. Is it Brooke Golf?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
She does.
Connect me with Brooke.
She's winning the billboard game for sure.
Killing it.
Yes.
Killing it. I need to know her.
Now I'm curious
secret.
to know if it's her market, if she's like outsourced it to a marketing group, or if that's her own idea.
Keating Insurance.
Yep. Ryan Keating, great office right in West Hartford Center, longtime supporter of the league, big time sponsor. He's great. He's a fellow skier too. He and I have talked about that.
Oh, nice.
So
he was on episode 23.
Yep, I saw that.
And we get our director's insurance from Keating. Play it again. Great
spot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rotary Club.
Yes. Yep.
Shout out to the Rotary Club.
They're
they
back
give
this
dictionaries to every third grader every year for like 20 years. Like that's their thing. So I get dictionaries.
Yep.
Trent Landscaping.
Yes.
Rush Trent is fantastic.
Yep. We've got Uber Dog too. So those guys have a banner in the facility. We also have Sonny over at Black Bamboo.
Ooh, I heard he's a great sponsor.
Yeah,
he brings food to the
He does.
Kids.
Yes. Yep. So Sonny.
I gotta step up my game.
Sonny's amazing. So he's got Black Bamboo and he's got Pokeworks too. So he's stepped up. Both his. Yep.
The Pokeworks over here by Bishop's Corner
near REI.
Oh wow, that's his.
Yes.
Pokeworks.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. So he's over there. They've got like these burrito things. So if you like burritos, like if you like Chipotle, you can go to Pokeworks and get like a burrito. It's like a gigantic sushi roll. So that's pretty good too.
Yeah, I like spicy too.
Yes. And if you watch the UConn Villanova game, which UConn beat Villanova, we want to bring that up for Pat Cooney. That Sonny was sitting behind the announcers, and Sonny from Black Bamboo was on TV for a good. He got like probably 2 minutes of screen time sitting behind these announcers.
Yes.
So he was great.
Cheers to Sonny. I like Sonny a lot. Trent's Landscaping, not only did he support with a float, but Mark's Christmas Trees, episode 33. Yes. Dan O'Brien, we definitely collaborated. He's a huge supporter of Friends of Feeney. We did a yappy hour down at Gastro Park.
Okay, nice.
West Hartford Exchange Club, do they have a team?
I'm not sure, but that's more my fault for not knowing than whether
Marty
or not
Keena, he's on the board of directors for Friends of Feeney. He's the president of the Exchange Club.
Okay.
And also on episode 11.
Nice.
And then the police union, West Hartford Police Union.
They may or may not be back. I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
And again, that's more.
This might be an older from the website.
Got
and
it.
then Chief Riddick was on.
Yes, I saw
37.
him. Yep, I saw him.
That was huge. That was a great get for to be on the podcast. He's fantastic. All right, we got the shout outs out of the way. We got the sponsors out of the way. What game do you want to play? We do Incoherent, Crazy Questions by Donut Crazy, or we got a new baseball game we're going to try.
Okay.
Baseball cards.
Let's do that.
Want to try the baseball cards?
Yes, but
All right.
beware, and I told you this before we started recording, I'm a player of sports, not necessarily I don't know a lot of the players. So
All right, we'll try. So I'm a Yankees fan. So you'll take these are from some sort of Christmas village in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, at a card store.
And so
My
you
daughter
bought
got 'em.
these, and there were this box that just says, here's a mix of
Here's a mix.
all Yankees
You
baseball
get a
players.
case of 50 cards for $10.95.
Okay.
I want to go on record as saying the Red Sox one costs $10.95 and the Yankees one costs $15.95. So it already
That's
you know
impressive.
what team is better.
Yeah, look at that. That's like 33% more expensive for the Yankees cards. Oh, man. Look at some of these names. So I'm cheating because I'm looking at these. But
So you can look, but then you're maybe
All right.
look through a few that you think I would get or not get.
I'm going to look through a few. Oh, gosh. I'm
All
going
right,
to look through a
so-
few that I remember. So remember, from 1987 to 1992, it didn't matter what team the Major League Baseball player was on. I knew who they were because I collected cards.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at all these names. I'm like, yeah, I would know all these guys.
All right, so this is going to see if it's even worth playing.
Okay.
So I'll cover the name.
Okay.
I'll hold it up.
That is Wade Boggs. Yes. You
All
can't.
right.
I mean, that's Wade Boggs.
Okay.
Wade
All right.
Boggs has, as a baseball guy, there's more stories about Wade Boggs that.
Greatest stories ever.
Yeah, he was
The
a
chicken
legend.
wing story.
Yep.
The bear on a plane story.
Beer on a bus story. Okay. Oh, this is. Oh no, his
So
name's
start
on the
off
top.
maybe like an easy one like I gave you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do. Let's see. Here's
And then
here's
this
a new one.
We
All
stole
right.
this from Darren Rovell, this card opener.
All right, here
Let's
you go.
So hold it up to the camera too, and then. Oh yeah, that's Brett Gardner.
That's Brett
center
Gardner. You
field.
got it. Nailed it.
All right. We'll start out. We're gonna keep giving you a couple cupcakes here. That's a cupcake. Another cupcake.
Oh, that's Poppy.
Poppy.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I got who you got right here. A newer guy.
Geo Stan? Or no?
Nope. Here's a hint. He does a bunch of bench presses. All he does is get jacked. He lifts all the time.
Aaron Judge?
Luke Voigt. Oh. Right? Isn't that what Luke does? Doesn't he just
He's jacked.
Yeah, but that's all he does.
No
He
shirt.
no shirt, chains. Yeah, exactly.
Darn, I should get that.
He's like everybody's,
Repost that.
and he's a
We never
lovable
edited here today. Oh, and we need to cut that out. Luke Voigt,
Luke Voigt.
first base. All right, this is a good one.
Oh, that's Dustin Pedroia. That's Petey.
All right. You're doing good.
So this is a guy who
You're
I
killing
know from like way back in the day. I'll give you a hint. He was a shortstop that was horrible. He was a shortstop in probably the 80s, maybe early 90s for the Yankees.
Ooh.
And it's okay if you're. It doesn't matter.
Nope. These are the guys I know. Mendoza?
No, not Mendoza though. That you could be confused with his line. It's Alvaro Espinoza.
Oh, come on.
So I remember him because my dad always used to complain that he was such a bad hitter, but he was so good at defense. That was
Okay.
back in the day
Yeah.
when if you were a shortstop, you just needed to be a
Catch
good
the ball, yep.
defensive shortstop. You didn't have to hit. It was okay to hit 220. All right, who else we got here? Oh, this is all right. I'll give you another one.
I'm out. I'm
Older.
1 for 3 here. Oh, I know this guy, Dave Winfield.
That's it. That's Dave Winfield.
Love that guy.
Yep.
Went to college for like 4 different sports.
Yeah.
Right?
He
Is
got
that him?
drafted like he could do
Drafted,
everything.
yeah.
Right?
What this guy?
Is that Roger Clemens?
Roger Clemens.
That's like young Roger
I
Clemens.
know.
It's all right. So here
That's
you
a
go.
tough one.
Who's this guy?
Come on. Oh, Roger Clemens.
There's Roger Clemens, but playing for the
I love
Yankees.
it. Yeah, that's the 9/11 game.
Yep, in the 9/11 game.
I have that poster hanging in my house. George Bush throwing out the first pitch.
Yep. So for the kids at home, they need to know who this is before they think of him as just a bad owner of the Marlins, and not an amazing shortstop.
Yes. The best. Derek Jeter.
That's right. For all
Jeter.
you students at Wolcott,
Number 2.
don't forget that name.
Number 2. All right. Maybe this is challenging. Maybe not.
Oh shoot. I don't know. You're gonna tell me the name. I'm like, yeah, that's not Lou Merloni, is it? Oh, that's Uke?
Uke.
Is it really?
Uke. Yeah, Uke.
All right.
Which can be seen at a UConn football game if they're playing Cincinnati. I guess he went to Cincinnati. So
Okay.
He'll
Okay.
All right, this is the first.
Speaking of that, UConn baseball team kicked off their opening weekend. They're 2-1, and a couple of good victories.
Did you play there?
I did.
At UConn.
At UConn.
All right, nice. All
back
right, we
in the
play
day.
a new game. New game then. We play. Goes what you just said. That was fun. We play first, last, best, worst.
Okay.
You brought up UConn baseball.
Yep.
Your first UConn baseball game, your last UConn baseball game, your best UConn baseball game, and your worst UConn baseball game.
First UConn baseball game. I was a freshman. I got the start outfield. I was an outfielder. Probably our first weekend or second weekend of the season, and we were playing. I forget if it was the Citadel or another team that was in the armed services. And I was my first at bat was against the guy who led the nation in strikeouts the year before.
So you're like,
And he's throwing over 90, and I'm coming from playing high school baseball in Connecticut, where every once in a while you see somebody throw mid to high 80s. And not only did he throw 90, but like if you're not a baseball person, it's one thing to throw fast. It's another thing to throw fast with movement. Mm-hmm. So this guy, my first pitch was like a 92 mile an hour fastball that moved. Like it curved away from me. And I remember that was like the first time I'd seen it. I'm like, what just happened? So I ended up getting 2 strikes on me and choked up and ended up getting a ball off the fist, but hitting a ground ball up the middle for a single. So
nice.
I got a hit off of that guy. So that was my first baseball game in college. Last baseball game was against University of Pittsburgh, which, believe it or not, is where Rob Hannawalt, the outgoing West Hartford Youth Baseball president, played for. So Rob was a pitcher at Pitt, another Big East baseball program. So we had a weekend series at Pitt, and that was my last baseball game. We won, and I think I may have hit a home run that game, and if I did, it was opposite field, which was pretty cool. So if you hit a home run, that's one thing, but to be able to hit a home run and have it go opposite field is even cooler because Apple bomb, yeah,
Apple bomb,
Apple taco, that type of stuff. Yeah. So that's first and last. Worst baseball game, Notre Dame. My senior year, they were playing a 3-game stint against us at home. So we're at Stores, and there was a guy on second base, 1 out. I had a chance to win the game. We were either bottom of the ninth or extra innings, whatever it was, and I had a chance to win the game. And I ended up, and I didn't have to do much. I either needed to hit a ground ball to pull a ground ball to right field or to the right side of the field, or hit just a sac fly. And I remember hitting like a pop out to the shortstop. And that was like the worst feeling because I had a chance to lock up the game. But that's teamwork. Thankfully, we won the game. One of the guys on the team stepped in, took over for me, and ended up getting the game-winning hit. So we won the game. But I still remember that feeling. I'm 41 years old, and that happened when I was 21, right? So, so that's worst, right?
Yep.
Best. Did I not do the best?
Nope.
I don't know what the best was.
That's
the thing, like the pain.
That one hurts the most.
That's the most
you'll
memorable.
Remember the most.
Probably I had an 0 for 26 streak where I went 0 for 26, and just could not either. I was hitting the ball hard, but it was right at people, or I just couldn't see it. And then I think I broke out of that 0 for 26 streak with a pretty good game, like a 4 for 5 game, or something like that. So that was probably best, to go from the pain of. Because what are you getting, 4 at-bats a game? So 26, that's like 6 games where you're not doing anything. And you're not contributing, and your teammates are relying on you to do something great, and you're not. And it's just like the worst feeling in the world. So that's to break out of that was probably the best.
Awesome. That was great. Yeah. Well done. And you played Notre Dame, Fighting Irish with the golden helmets
yes.
and everything?
And we would travel out there, so I got to go see Touchdown Jesus at Notre Dame.
Big Notre Dame fan, football.
Oh, yep.
Saw Touchdown Jesus. That's great. Actually, I was at the UConn game when UConn won.
Did you really? Did you? All right. Nice.
And I was a Notre Dame fan still. And
I'm sorry for that. I'm not sorry for that loss.
The whole plane ride back, all the UConn fans.
So now we need to get back to that glory of the UConn football days.
Yes.
It's all falling into place, right? So our basketball team is firing on all cylinders. baseball team has been great for years. Big shout out to Jimmy Penders and Josh McDonald and Jeff Organ, 3 coaches there, and Chris Podeswa too, guys who were just.
Were they your coaches at the time too?
So Jimmy Penders was the assistant coach who recruited me out of high school. My last year was Andy Baylock's last year, who was the former head coach. But Jimmy has been the head coach, and I always like to say he's the new head coach, but he's been the head coach for almost 20 years, so
Nice.
He's not new anymore.
Rick Belmonte, he's a dad
Yes.
from school. You know him?
I did. I played with Rick for 1 year.
Come on.
Yes.
All right. Yeah,
Yep. So, and I still see Rick around town.
Yeah.
Rick's great.
He's yeah, that's my guy too. He's a good friend.
Rick was an amazing. He could hit. He was an amazing hitter. Best hand-eye coordination I've ever seen. Best first baseman I've ever played with. Defensively, just a rock star.
Come on.
Yep.
Rick?
Yes.
Rick.
He's an old soccer guy. So I think like if you're a soccer player,
Oh, the hand
like,
eye.
it kind of works well for you for other sports. And that's like a good plug. Like if you want to be like a good baseball player, go play other sports.
Yeah.
Go play football. Go play soccer. Go play anything else that you can because it all ties in together.
There's a great program, 2 for 1.
Yes.
Life's too short for one sport.
Yep.
And they're like, play different sports. They all can help each other out. Soccer is good with the footwork.
Yep.
Well,
you see that with Sonogo, who's the one of the star basketball players at UConn. Grew up playing soccer. His footwork is amazing, and it's because of that.
Gotcha.
My son's in he does 2 for 1.
Nice.
So that's a great program that we have in town.
I don't want to shout out other camps, but I'm a program director at High Meadow Day Camp too. So you also got to look into that.
Can you tell me more about that? Because I saw you're getting a lot of love on the podcast with that. So tell
Yeah.
me a little bit more about that.
Ben Chayback is the director.
Yeah.
He was on the podcast.
Yep.
No, it's a great place. It's in North Granby.
Yep.
There's art, clay, riflery, archery, zip line, swim twice a day. We bring in fun things like petting zoos, laser
Yep.
tag, bounce houses.
Is it day camp? Is it
Day
overnight?
camp.
Okay.
Yep. So you pick them up. There used to be door to door in West Hartford, but now you're going to have like one location. So for you, it would probably be like Conard
Yep.
or somewhere in that area to drop off and pick up at like a certain time, 8:30 and 4:30.
Okay.
Be there. No, wonderful place.
My
Really
daughter
happy.
would love that. That is
Yeah.
right up her. Is there a certain age group? Like when do you age out of that?
So it's 4 to 14.
Okay.
Well, 13. When you become 14, you could turn into a CIT, counselor
Counselor
in
training.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
So yeah, it's great.
Okay.
I'll give you more info. That's
All right.
great.
Burke, if
Thanks
you're
for
listening,
asking.
that's it's going to be on your radar for this summer.
All right, great. All right, new game. We're on the game time. This is Crazy Questions.
Okay.
Sponsored by Donut Crazy over there on Farmington Avenue. Do you have
Yes.
a favorite donut? It's right down your
So,
street from where you work.
Friday mornings in my family are donut days.
Nice.
And so my daughter Berkeley, she has been a fan. She likes to mix it up. So I'll surprise her with her donut of the Friday, whatever it may be. My son Bowden, he's a creature of habit, so he likes just regular frosted donuts.
Yep.
My wife Jenny, she loves French colors since she was a kid. That's her jam. And I've become partial to Boston creams.
Nice.
So
All right. You know your stuff.
I do.
The donut every Friday?
Friday mornings.
Man.
Yeah. Yep.
Can you adopt me?
It gets the kids out of
I
bed.
want to be in that family.
So what that does is that means there's only 4 days of the week that we have to really press to get the kids out of bed.
When do you get the donuts? That morning or the day before?
That morning.
Oh, you
Gotta
run
eat
out
the fresh donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. There's
You
nothing
want
worse.
day-old donuts.
What's your favorite baseball team?
I've grown to love the Red Sox.
Would you rather eat 100 popcorns or 100 hot dogs?
I go Kobayashi on that. Give me hot dogs.
Kobayashi. And favorite sport is baseball. This person's favorite sport is soccer.
Okay.
What would you rather do if all your players were dancing babies doing the floss?
What would I rather do, or
What would you do if all your players were doing the dancing babies doing the floss?
how long are they doing it for? I'd say get it all out of your system.
Okay.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, get after it. Go ahead, kids.
What's your least favorite game?
Least favorite game? Oh, man. Probably basketball because I'm so bad at it. Most frustrating game, but still love it. Would love to play and run around. It's good exercise, but just not good at it.
All right. Would you rather, do you like Avatar or anime?
I only know of Avatar as a movie. I didn't know it was a thing. I know anime is a type of cartoon, Japanese-based cartoon that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go anime.
All right. Would you rather eat pizza or a baseball? Would you rather eat pizza or a baseball?
I would prefer to eat pizza in the shape of a baseball.
There you go. Have you ever been to Donut Crazy?
Yes.
What's your favorite sport?
Baseball and skiing. Love
Ooh.
skiing.
What's your favorite color?
Green,
What college did you go to?
University of Connecticut.
Nice. What's your favorite sport? Got that?
Yep.
She likes watching football.
All right.
All right, this one. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
I go Ben & Jerry's coconut 7-layer bar
Jeez.
all day.
I like the specifics.
Yep.
What team did you play on when you were in middle school baseball team?
I think I was, middle school is Babe Ruth for me. So I was Mohegan Fire.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Mohegan Fire.
What were your favorite shoes when you were a kid?
I had a pair of Air Maxes that I really liked. But actually, the first pair was my first pair of Jordans. And I forget what number they were, but I had to work. I remember doing chores for 2 or 3 weeks to get those Air Jordans. They had the reflective tongues in the front, and then they were, they had little, almost fire kind of stitching
did you
on
have
the
to
side.
squeeze the thing to pull the laces in, the little
I
squeeze
didn't,
tab?
yeah, the plastic one, that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
They were red and white.
Those are the fives.
Those are the fives. So
Sixes.
Jordan 5. And I will never forget that day. Because that was when you would go to Foot Locker
Oh, yeah.
and you'd just hope to God that your parents would let you wear them out of the store.
Yep.
Right? Because sometimes they say no. They say, no, those are your new school shoes. You got to put them in the box for another 2
Yep.
weeks. But those ones I got to wear out of the
Yeah.
store. And oh, man, that was great.
No, I remember my first 5th grade, Jordan 3s, 5th grade.
Yep.
And I went and I sat, we have a big hill in Waterbury, Greenwood.
Okay.
And I sat on my skateboard, and the only way to stop when you're sitting on a skateboard is using your sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
Tore a hole in the back of my brand new Jordans. $100 pair of sneakers. My mom was not happy.
Well, that's interesting. $100 back then, if they were actually subject to inflation, those would probably be $230 shoes right
Yeah.
now, right?
But right now, well, if you don't get them now at Foot Locker, you have to get something called a restock, and you have to pay
Oh, it's this big thing.
$500 or $1,000.
I had a friend.
There's a place in West Farms called Impossible Kicks. They're
Yep.
selling sneakers for $1,000.
Just the secondary market.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
$500.
I mean, I get it, right? You've got too few things that too many people want, so it's going to create these things where it's just nuts. But I had a friend who, one of my best friends, he's my age, he's our age, and he back in 7th or 8th grade, bought a pair of Jordans that he never took out of the box. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why aren't you wearing these shoes? He's like, I just want to collect them. And nobody was doing that back then.
Yeah.
And he did it, and it wasn't now, he's not now this big sneakerhead. He just did it with these shoes, and he ended up selling them to a kid that we went to high school with 7 years later or something randomly.
Yeah.
But it was the first time I'd ever known that somebody would collect sneakers.
And my college roommate worked at Foot Locker, so we had in college, our sneakers, we had the closet in the box.
Yeah.
Break them out, wear them, put them back in the box, put the tissue back in the
Oh,
toe.
yeah, because you don't want that crease.
Can't crease the toe.
You can't crease the toe.
I love it. I love it. All right, you know your sneakers.
Yeah.
Sneakerhead. Yeah, I had a paper route. So, yeah, my mom bought me my first pair, but then ever since then, I think I had every pair of Jordans.
Okay.
Humble brag. And the Bo Jacksons were also very
Oh, yeah,
cool
those
too.
were tough.
And Air Max.
Was there a cooler baseball card than the Score baseball card
Yeah.
with Bo, with the shoulder pads, black and white,
Yeah.
right, with the bat
The
over
bat
it?
and the shoulder
oh,
pads?
Oh, my God.
Oh, he's a legend. He's
Yeah.
a legend.
Yeah.
Living
That's a
legend.
poster I would still hang anywhere and be okay with it.
100%. What was your favorite and most crazy Halloween costume that you've ever had?
Craziest? I dressed up as a girl one Halloween, I think 5th grade.
Cheers.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
too.
I
Fifth
think
grade.
I don't know if I went so far as to have heels on, but everything else, and I had lipstick and a wig, and I think I pulled it off.
Yeah.
There's pictures around there for sure. That's craziest. And then I'm trying to think of any cool stuff I've done for Halloween. No, so it's funny, for Halloween, my wife and I, back when our daughter was born, so this was 11 years ago, she bought these one pieces that you put on, and I'm a monkey. I've been wearing that every single Halloween for the past 11 years.
Monkey's
She's
great.
a cow. She's got the cow costume. So we wear that every single Halloween.
I bet my buddy in fantasy football, Monkey, whoever lost had to wear the monkey suit to a UConn football game. Luckily, he lost. Chad wore the monkey suit. So we have pictures of all over the UConn wearing a monkey suit. That's a good fantasy bet.
The fantasy bets are tough because if you lose, oh God, it can be
It's
brutal.
not like a tattoo or anything. It's the monkey suit. Was the scariest thing you have ever encountered, and where was it?
Oh God. Scariest thing. That's a good question. Let's see. I've been scared a few times. One time I was skiing with 3 other friends and we were hiking to ski. So we were like way in the woods and we had kind of gone off trail and kind of got a little bit lost. So we didn't know where we were and it was getting dark. And I was really scared because I didn't think that we would, and it was like 10 degrees out. So I thought we were going to get stuck in the woods. And
that's scary.
So that was scary. We found our way back.
Did you ski back or did you walk?
Yeah, so we kind of hiked back we were able to find the trail and then we were able to ski back down to the car right before the sunset. But like the 4 of us were like, okay, like this is kind of scary.
That is scary.
Yep.
What was your favorite movie or show as a kid and what did you watch it on?
I definitely watched it on VHS. Nice. Favorite movie, probably Wayne's World or Wayne's World 2. Always on repeat. Always watched that movie. It was great. But then, like as a teenager, again on VHS, like we had like the cycle of like all the Happy Gilmore movies and Ace Ventura and all the Jim Carrey movies.
Yeah, mine was Dumb and Dumber. Friday.
Yeah, I will work in a Dumb and Dumber quote to some conversation at least twice a day.
Cheers to that.
And for those of us who get it, it's like, oh, I see what you did there.
So you might want to hold on to that. So you're saying there's a chance.
250,000. That's an IOU, sir.
What gaming console did you have when you were a kid?
Parents did not allow us to have whatever the newest gaming console was. I remember being in high school and having the original Nintendo and playing like Rygar because it was whatever game. And for gaming nerds out there, they may know what Rygar is.
Yeah.
If not, just Google it. Contra, very popular, very fun.
How do you get 30 guys in Contra?
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start. If you're playing 2-player, you don't hit select if it's 1-player. You don't forget that stuff.
Well done.
Then you get to college.
What about Mike Tyson's code?
Hold on.
01 something.
I've got it written down. So
there's T-shirts now.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
And it's just the arrows. It's not the actual code. Tyson's code I had written down but never memorized it. But I beat Mike Tyson.
Come on.
A couple times.
I've never beat Mike
I
Tyson.
have.
How's your Sega Genesis?
I was good at Sonic, but by the time I got to college, that was 64. So we were Bond, we were Mario Kart 64 all day. That was
we have
like
Sega
the best.
Over here.
I saw that.
WeHa Roasting and Brewing, which I forgot to shout out. WeHa Roasting and Brewing. Thank you so much, Cody. Does the coffee. Will does the beer.
Yep.
And thank you to Directline Media, Owen and Dave. They're doing the podcast.
Great idea, by the way. You come here in the morning, you can have a coffee. You come in the afternoon, you can have a beer. When I was getting my MBA, my buddy and I we'd have classes at night. So we'd stop at Vaughn's Public House in downtown Hartford. I was getting my MBA at UConn. We'd have, a beer or two and a plate of wings. Then we would go to a coffee shop, get a big coffee, and then we would go to class.
Nice.
It would be focused, but talkative.
Nice. Perfect.
And we
would get all that here. One stop.
One stop. You don't need to go to 2 places. It's brilliant. So if you want to study, great place to come, morning and afternoon.
Yeah. What was your favorite toy as a kid and how much did it cost?
Favorite toy, Transformers, the green construction guys that would all assemble into one big construction guy. So they were light green. They were almost the color of this
Not Voltron?
Not Voltron. And that I got that for Christmas one year, and I remember being like completely mesmerized by it.
Ooh. Transformers. I know Optimus Prime.
Yep.
Bumblebee.
Yep.
Who's the bad guy? Megatron.
Is Megatron the bad guy?
Megatron the good guy.
The Decepticons were the bad. The Decepticons were the bad guy, but I forget who the main bad guy was. And then I was big into Legos.
Ooh.
Used to love Legos.
Legos are great.
Yep.
You recognize his handwriting?
That sloppy handwriting looks like holy. Good job, dude.
Bowden. Shout out to Bowden.
I like
You have
all the
cool
questions.
names. Bowden and Berkeley.
Bowden and Berkeley. That was, I think, came from me having a unique name, not appreciating it as a kid, but definitely appreciating it as
Now,
a
is Cy short for something?
No, it's
Cy.
it's just Cy, and I've got a brother named Van.
Come on.
So
That's
Cy and
cool.
Van. Yep. So bubble sheets, filling them out for all like the standardized testing.
Boom. I'm
Done before everybody else. Yep.
Cy.
Good
Very
questions, Bodes.
All right, so what time are we at? 50 minutes? 40 minutes? Hour? 1 hour. 60 minutes with Feeney. How you feeling?
I feel good.
This is great.
Yeah.
I don't think we have time for Incoherent. We'll play again next time. It was wonderful chatting with you.
Yeah,
this was
great.
a great podcast because we've never met before.
No, we have
A
not.
lot of my guests I've met and know and had some. I got to meet you on the show, so that
Right.
was really cool.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate you doing this, especially given the list of folks that you have on. I can't believe that we're able to have a schlub like me on this.
This is,
But,
no, the league is in good hands.
Yeah.
You're the president of the West Hartford Youth Baseball League.
Yep.
Very excited to be a Friends of Feeney team. We're excited.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. Thank you, and thank you to those 6 dads too, willing to step in.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Black Bamboo with the food and Brooke Golf with the spirit. I'm going to be both.
There you go. There you go.
All right. So
Awesome.
beware if you're playing for the Friends of Feeney Fighting Falcons. Any closing remarks?
Thanks for what you do. I mean, this is amazing. I'm excited and willing to help in any way that we can to get you to grow your presence. It's super important what you do. And, tragedy can strike any time, right? And you've got momentum, so we would more than be happy to help you keep it going, both with my family personally, but then also with the league. So that's really it. And this is great because you don't have to do stuff like this, right? So you're dedicating your time and energy to help kids out in need, more so than being a teacher, which is more than enough, right? We were talking about this offline, but there's no profession out there that's probably less appreciated for all the work that you put into what you do, and then to just do it more with Friends of Feeney is even greater. So thanks for doing that, and you've got a long-time supporter in the Hess family too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Quick other shout-outs. Thank you, Hayden Suss. When you see our Incoherent videos, Hayden Suss is a 13-year-old who does our video editing and just puts bits and pieces.
Nice.
Steve Dean and the Dean family helped support a student, a family of 4 to go to High Meadow Day Camp.
Okay.
Marty Keenan and the Exchange Club made a generous donation. Jennifer Hines nominated me down at Westfield Bank, and Westfield Bank wrote a check. We got a Happy Gilmore check yesterday.
Nice, one of those big ones. That's
Yes,
great.
Happy Gilmore check through Matt Heller. It works down there, and he worked at the camp, and he donates his time taking pictures. He's going to be marching in the parade March 12th.
Okay.
Free.
Okay.
Hartford St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Friends of Feeney has a float.
That's where you have the parade.
Yep. Well,
Okay.
we've done 3. We do the Hartford St. Patrick's Day. We
Okay.
do Memorial Day, and we
Yep.
do the Park Road.
Okay. So I knew about the Park Road. I didn't know about those other two.
And then thank you again to Mike, Brooks, Dan, Jeff, James, and Chuck. I always want to call them their kids' names. I want to say Max and Leo.
I'm the same way.
Connor.
I know the kids on the team, but the parents' names I need to have you for like 2 or 3 seasons before I really remember
So
the parents'
sometimes I
names.
just go last name.
Yeah,
Like
even
Fisher,
better.
Gold Farm, definitely Gold Farm. But wonderful people in the community. It was great to sit and chat with you.
Yeah.
Cy Hess, financial advisor for Riverside Retirement Advisors over there on Farmington, 1034 Farmington, and his Cy at riversideadvisor.com, and he is the West Hartford Youth Baseball League president.
Thanks so much,
Man,
Eric.
it was great chatting. We played a new baseball game. We did crazy questions. Thank you so much. On 3, we're going to say be a good friend.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Be a good
friend.
Right.